And here are some more vocabulary lessons and some more phrases that I want to teach you. These are really important for you to build your basics and to improve your overall knowledge of the vocabulary in German, especially for career and daily life. So this is another lesson about vocabulary. Try to write them down, make notes of them, and try to memorize them. Flashcards are really helpful for you to continue to learn those. So let's go start with this lesson. So, and here we are with the second part of the vocabulary. We just continue with the departments of a company. Now we have der Vertrieb, the distribution department, that then splits out into das Marketing, the marketing department basically, and der Verkauf, the sales. But let's first look into der Vertrieb. Der Vertrieb, the distribution. The first vocabulary I really would like you to know, to learn, is der Kundenbetreuer, the account manager but male, and die Kundenbetreuerin, the female account manager. And then you could look into an example sentence like this one. Der Kundenbetreuer kümmert sich die Kunden. The account manager takes care of the clients. So I think that's a very important vocabulary to know if you talk about the distribution department, the sales department. The second one I would like you to know, there are actually kind of like two vocabularies in here. But the one I would like you to focus on is das Verkaufsgespräch, the sales pitch. So, but here the sales pitch is actually not the 100% best translation, because das Verkaufsgespräch, it's more like a sales conversation rather than a sales pitch. But if we do a sales pitch, we oftentimes also talk about das Verkaufsgespräch. And the second vocabulary that is also in the sentence here is basically the salesperson, der Verkäufer, der Verkäufer. So, der Verkäufer führt ein Verkaufsgespräch. The salesperson conducts a sales pitch. The next vocabulary is das Angebot, the offer, das Angebot. Das ist ein gutes Angebot. This is a good offer. The plural, if you ask here, would be die Angebote. Die Angebote. Basically an E at the end of Angebot. And then we have, again, the salesperson, der Verkäufer, and now verhandelt mit dem Kunden. So, mit jemandem verhandeln is to negotiate with someone. Ja, so ich verhandle mein Gehalt, for example, mit meinem Vorgesetzten. I could also say that. So, to negotiate means verhandeln. Und mit jemandem verhandeln, that's the preposition mit. That's what we use when we talk about to negotiate with someone. So pretty similar in English, I would say. Der Verkäufer verhandelt mit dem Kunden. The salesperson negotiates with the client. Okay, and then we go to the marketing department, the marketing, das Marketing. Das Marketing. So here I would like you to learn a word that kind of is also used in German in English. So the social networks, you could also say that in German. But it's also very common to say die sozialen Netzwerke. Die sozialen Netzwerke sind ein wichtiges Werkzeug für das Marketing. Die sozialen Netzwerke sind ein wichtiges Werkzeug für das Marketing. The social networks are an important tool for the marketing. And then we have the vocabulary, eine Marktlücke entdecken. In this case, it's more like a phrase, to discover a niche in the market. Entdecken, the verb entdecken just means to discover something. But here we use that together with the market gap. So Marktlücke, die Lücke means literally the gap. So a market gap discover or to discover. That would be the direct translation. And this is how you use it. Das Unternehmen hat eine neue Marktlücke entdeckt. The company has discovered a new market niche. The next vocabulary is very important, die Ausgaben, the expenditure or the expenditures. Wir müssen unsere Ausgaben verringern. We have to cut, reduce, however, our expenses. Ja, die Ausgaben. And in singular, it would be die Ausgabe. Der Sekretär bereitet eine Präsentation vor. Der Sekretär bereitet eine Präsentation vor. The secretary prepares a presentation. Die Präsentation, the presentation. This, I know this is not the most difficult word, but look at how we write it. We write it with the umlaut ä. That's important. And we also write it with a capital P because it's a noun. So also very important to know this one. Der neue Praktikant macht einen Kaffee. Der neue Praktikant macht einen Kaffee. The new intern is making a coffee. Der Praktikant is the male intern and then the female intern would be die Praktikantin. Die Praktikantin. So, and now your task is to translate this text into German using the vocabularies that we've just learned. So please pause here, take your time, take a white sheet of paper, write it down there, really make sure you invest some time in finding the right translation here, and then we will look into the answer. But this is a task that really only you can do yourself to improve your German and use the vocabulary that we've just looked at. Okay, so please pause here and then we will see each other in a moment. And the answer is this. Viele Praktikanten kennen sich sehr gut mit den sozialen Netzwerken aus. So here the plural of der Praktikant ist die Praktikantin. Manchmal dürfen sie sogar eine Präsentation vorbereiten, in welcher das Unternehmen versucht, neue Marktlücken zu entdecken. Oftmals müssen dabei die Ausgaben berücksichtigt werden. Don't worry if you don't have it exactly like this. The point is here that you use the vocabulary correct. All the little grammar and all those little differences in adjective declinations and so on. That's all fine. That's all good. That's maybe an exercise for another time. Here, the thing that I wanted you to focus on is finding the right vocabulary and putting the sentences in the right structure. So I hope you've done that. If not, just look at the English one again and try to do it again until you have a similar sentence to what I have. Cool. All right, so now we do der Verkauf. Der Verkauf, the sales or just sales. In this case, obviously, the sales department. Der Verkauf. Here, the verb that I'd like you to learn is beraten. Beraten means to advise. For example, der Verkäufer berät den Kunden. Der Verkäufer berät den Kunden. The seller advises the customer. Then the next vocabulary or vocabularies actually here is die Werbung, the advertisement, and Werbung machen. It might kind of means to advertise, to make advertise, but not to create the advertisement, but to spread the word, to actually have clients hearing your product. Werbung machen, to advertise your product. For example, das Unternehmen macht Werbung für das Produkt. The company advertises the product. Das Unternehmen macht Werbung für das Produkt. Es gibt einen Rabatt von 20% für das Produkt. Der Rabatt is the discount. So there is a discount, there is a 20% discount on the product. Es gibt einen Rabatt von 20% auf das Produkt. The next one is ohne Gewähr. That's actually an interesting one. So ohne Gewähr means without a guarantee or no guarantee. Yeah. So die Informationen sind ohne Gewähr. The information that someone tells you are without a guarantee. For example, I oftentimes hear this when they say the lottery on TV, and they're saying the numbers that got picked for the lottery and so on. And then at the end they say, diese Angaben sind wie immer ohne Gewähr. Those that information, those numbers are as always without guarantee. So they say that so that they kind of have the option. Oh, okay, so we maybe made a mistake in telling you the right number, so you actually didn't win the lottery or something like that. So we use ohne Gewähr to point out, to say that something is without a guarantee. And now we have the last department, die Produktion, the production department. Die Produktion, production, or the production department. Die Fabrik stellt viele Produkte her. Die Fabrik stellt viele Produkte her. The factory produces many products. Die Fabrik. If you're wondering about the plural, that would be die Fabriken. Yeah, so the factory. Die Fabrik hat viele Fließbänder. The factory has many assembly lines. Fließen actually means to flow, and band is kind of like in English, das Band, the band. So it's a flowing band, which in the German logic means the assembly line. Das Fließband. Die Arbeiter sind pünktlich. Die Arbeiter sind pünktlich. The workers are punctual. And well, as you know, that's an important thing in the German culture, to be punctual. So it's important to know this one, pünktlich sein, and we write it with an Umlaut, with the Ü. In der Fabrik ist immer 16 Uhr Feierabend. In der Fabrik ist immer 16 Uhr Feierabend. The factory always closes at 4 p.m. So this here is not a direct translation, as you can see, so it's a little bit more of a loose translation. Why? Because der Feierabend, if you translate it directly, it actually means party evening, the party evening, but that's not what it means. It just means the end of workday. So if you are in a German office, you might hear a lot, oh, bald ist Feierabend, soon there will be the end of workday. And if they say that every day and you don't know what der Feierabend means, then you might think, what? Do they party every day? No, it just means the end of workday. Yeah, so der Feierabend. Okay, so, well, let's do a little exercise regarding the words that we've just learned. Well, the red ones are the German words and the white ones are the English words. I would like you to pause here and just find the right, the right pair. Write that down on your white sheet of paper. This is an exercise. It makes your brain work. It makes you write down things and so on. So it's really good for you to do this exercise manually with a white piece of paper if you can. So pause here and then I show you the answer. And drum roll, the answer is this. Well, so die Fabrik is the factory. Die Werbung is advertising. Das Fließband is the assembly line. Der Rabatt is the discount. And then ohne Gewähr is without guarantee. So, did you know all of those vocabularies? Did you learn some new ones? Do you want to learn more? There is attached a document that you can download, that you can look at, and that you can work with. There's more material, more vocabulary, more phrases that you can learn that will help you throughout this course. And now let's go to the quiz so that we can cement the knowledge that we've just learned.